In the remote countryside of Ravenbrook County, an ancient mansion stood in eerie silence for decades, known to locals only as Witherstone Manor. The estate, a sprawling Gothic structure with weathered towers and ivy-choked walls, carried with it an unsettling reputation. Generations of townsfolk spoke in hushed tones about the place where time seemed frozen, and unexplainable events plagued anyone who dared linger near its rusted iron gates. The history of Witherstone Manor began in the early 1800s, built by the elusive Everett Wither, a man known for his reclusive nature and rumored obsession with the supernatural. Strange occurrences were documented in village records: flickering lights from empty windows, eerie music floating across foggy fields, and shadows seen moving behind drawn curtains when no one lived there. After Everett's mysterious disappearance in 1832, the house passed through various hands, each owner reporting unexplained disturbances, voices without a source, objects vanishing, and an oppressive air that made visitors uneasy. The manor was eventually abandoned, left to rot, and nature reclaimed much of its grounds. Yet it remained a place of whispered stories and lingering dread. The story reignited in recent years when urban explorer and paranormal investigator Natalie Cole decided to document the manor's chilling legends. For her online horror series, a skeptic by nature but intrigued by local lore, Natalie entered the manor one misty autumn evening, accompanied only by her handheld camera and a flashlight whose beam barely pierced the thick darkness inside. The scent of aged wood, damp stone, and forgotten memories filled the air. The mansion's grandeur was undeniable despite decades of decay: crumbling staircases, shattered chandeliers, and faded portraits with eyes that seemed to follow Natalie's every move. She narrated her journey for her viewers, noting how the deeper she ventured, the colder the atmosphere grew, an unnatural chill that had nothing to do with the weather outside. As Natalie explored the east wing, her camera caught flickering movements in the corners, and she noticed doors slowly shifting on rusted hinges. The unsettling feeling intensified near a sealed room at the end of the main corridor. Legends spoke of a room of whispers, a chamber sealed for over a century, said to house the source of the manor's eternal unrest. Inscribed on the faded door was a simple phrase in Old English script: "Leave what you find, disturb what you must not." Compelled by a mix of fear and fascination, Natalie forced the door open. Dust exploded into the air as the heavy wood creaked inward, revealing a room untouched by time. Faded furniture, a large cracked mirror, and a single rocking chair rested in the center. The chair moved gently as though recently occupied, yet no one was there. The room's walls bore writing, faint and childlike, phrases repeated again and again. "Still here, never left. He waits." As Natalie filmed, a sudden gust extinguished her flashlight, plunging the room into near total darkness, illuminated only by the dim screen of her camera. The footage captured faint outlines of movement, shapes that appeared and vanished too quickly for the naked eye. The audio recorded low murmurs, indistinct but unmistakably voices. Natalie, her courage faltering, whispered into her camera about the suffocating pressure she felt, as if the walls themselves were closing in. At that moment, a reflection appeared in the cracked mirror. A pale figure stood behind her, though the room remained empty to the eye. The recording later revealed a gaunt, hollow-eyed presence with an expression of endless sorrow. A single phrase cut through the static-filled audio: "You shouldn't be here." Natalie fled the room, her panic mounting with each step, as the house itself seemed to come alive, floorboards groaning under unseen weight, cold gusts, slamming doors, and a cacophony of whispers that rose in volume and urgency. She escaped the manor that night, vowing never to return. The footage uploaded to her channel the next day drew widespread attention, not only for its chilling content, but for unexplained anomalies viewers noticed: strange figures in the background, eerie voices whispering names, and timestamps that seemed to alter themselves mid. Paranormal experts examined the video, and while skeptics dismissed it as a hoax, locals insisted the shadows of Witherstone Manor had made their presence known once again. To this day, no one has successfully re-entered the manor without incident. Several amateur investigators vanished after attempting to replicate Natalie's exploration, their last messages cryptic and fearful. The estate now sits under legal protection, declared a historic hazard zone, though some claimed to see flickering lights through its broken windows on stormy nights, and faint echoes of a woman's voice narrating in the dark. If you've ever visited a place that felt wrong, where every sound seemed too loud, every shadow too long. Tell us your story in the comments. True Terror Files official thrives because of viewers like you, brave enough to face the darkness. Subscribe now for more real horror stories, chilling encounters, and terrifying legends unearthed from the forgotten corners of history. Because some places should remain untouched, but we'll find them anyway.